Hello and welcome to N.E.P.A Investigates. My name's Camasso and today's video is extremely important. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video to all the residents of northeastern Pennsylvania. There's not a lot of good centralized information available to us, and we feel that this video is going to be key in the reopening procedures for the state of Pennsylvania and the northeastern Pennsylvania region. So again, my name is Camasso and welcome to N.E.P.A Investigates. Hello and welcome to N.E.P.A Investigates. My name's Camasso and today we are going to be covering all of the reopening of northeastern Pennsylvania, the key numbers, what's going to entail, and everything that's going to be happening over the next month and a half. So we really need to pay attention, focus on the details, focus on the facts, understand what needs to be done from both a consumer and a business level, and then establish protocols in place. So let's start from the beginning. Where do we stand as a whole? Where do we stand as a country, as a world, as a state? Well, currently in the world, we have 3,784,085 cases of coronavirus as of later today, May 7th. We also have 265,000 that have passed away. In the United States, there are 1,285,451 cases, of which 76,348 have passed away. Here in the great state of Pennsylvania, we've got 52,915 cases with 3,416 that have passed away. Let's take a quick look at the Pennsylvania map. We're going to show you basically, if you pay attention to the color scheme, obviously you can tell where the serious problems are. You've got your Philadelphia region down in the bottom of the state here, obviously in your southeast portion. And then you've got us obviously up in your northeast portion. We're starting to see a lot of influx here coming in from the New Jersey area. That's where a lot of the problems lie, and that's where we are really going to be having a lot of our difficulty. What we need to understand is our state has been divided into health regions. So while we here in northeastern Pennsylvania consider Luzerne, Monroe, Lackawanna, Pike, Schuylkill, Columbia, Carbon, Wayne, Lycoming, Susquehanna, Montour, Bradford, and Wyoming counties part of our northeastern Pennsylvania viewership, they, however, do not. They're actually considering Bradford, Columbia, and Montour part of the north central health regions, which is why Bradford, Columbia, and Montour were able to move into the yellow phase as of tomorrow, which is Friday, which is when many of us will be seeing this video. So we here in the Northeast, however, inherited two counties that are going to be detrimental to the reopening process of the Northeast. And we're going to get to that in a few. But first, let's go over the numbers currently here in Luzerne County, so we get a feel for which counties have been hit the hardest and which counties have really been able to either A, get a grasp on the virus, or B, they're so far spread apart that basically the virus hasn't really ravaged their area as it has in the more populous areas. So let's go with Luzerne first. We've got 2,255 cases here in Luzerne County, of which 101 have passed away. Monroe County's got 1,173 cases with 55 passed away. Lackawanna's got 1,017 cases with 87 passed away. Pike County, 408 cases with 17 passed away. Schuylkill County, 398 cases with 7 passed away. Columbia's got 296 cases with 13 passed away. Carbon is 185 cases with 15 passed away. Then we've got Wayne at 109 cases with 5 passed away. Lycoming, 86 cases, 3 passed away. Susquehanna, 86 cases, 9 passed away. Montour, 50 cases, no one's passed away. Wonderful job, Montour County. Bradford, 35 cases, 2 passed away, and Wyoming, 27 cases and 2 passed away. So those are the counties that we consider northeastern Pennsylvania region. And as you can see, they start really high at around 2,000 and drop all the way down to 27. So what does that tell us? Where does that leave us? So we're going to take a look at the Northeast region on that health map again. So let's just go to that health map to take over the whole screen for a few moments here, and I will go over basically what, you need to understand. So taking a look at this health region, what we can see is basically we have Luzerne, Monroe, Lackawanna, and Pike. Those are your heavy counties. Those are the ones that you can see in the darkest colors. And the reason being for that, well, at least in our northeastern region, and the reason being for that is they are the highest count per 1,000 ratios. So per every 100,000 residents, that's how they're basically making this map. And that's how they're able to establish the color code. So it can't really go by population because obviously some counties have a higher or lower population. So they base it on cases per 100,000, and that's how this map comes into effect. So let's take a look at the map and really understand why those colors are where they are. Now, this is how it's split up, and as you can tell, we have Lehigh County and Northampton County in our health region. They are considered Northeastern Health Region. Now the problem with that is Lehigh County and Northampton County both have very close, if not higher ratios than our highest county of Luzerne. So we just basically inherited to the Northeastern viewing area into the Northeastern Health Region, Lehigh and Northampton, which includes Allentown and Bethlehem, two of the largest cities in our state, both of which, so Lehigh's got 2,963 additional cases with 83 deaths, and Northampton County's got 2,240 cases with 94 deaths. So where does that leave us on this map? Basically, that is telling us that this whole northeastern region is basically going to be held back by the center of it, which is going to be your Luzerne, Monroe, Lackawanna, Pike, Lehigh, and Northampton. So counties like Wyoming County are going to grow to hate us here in Luzerne County for the simple fact that, according to Governor Wolf, they can't reopen until all these other counties are able to maintain a status quo, where the level is down past less than 50 new cases per day for 14 days straight within the whole health region, from what we understand so far. Now, Governor Wolf has put Bradford County, Columbia County, and Montour County into yellow phase. We're going to go over the details of the phases in just a few moments, but they are the only counties in our viewership area that has reached the yellow phase. We cannot move to yellow phase in Luzerne, Monroe, Lackawanna, Pike, Schuylkill, Columbia, Carbon, Wayne, Lycoming. You can't move there until everyone within those groups, including Lehigh and Northampton now, have brought their numbers down to a safe area. And why is it that we can't go countywide, you might ask? Well, very simple. There's going to be a lot of people on borders. There's going to be a lot of people that are willing to travel. If you, and granted, there's always going to be borders with every health region you establish. But if you're going to do it county by county by county rather than by a larger region, you are running the risk of having cross-contamination at a higher point, because you're going to have people cross those borders to get these goods and needs that they want. And then you're going to have those other businesses within those counties completely devastated for the simple fact that now they found a new place. So those are things that really can't go on, and that's the simple reason behind Governor Wolf's implementation of health regions rather than individual counties. Now, on the flip side of that, he has established that individual counties are going to be basically establishing a COVID task force to address internal health issues. Let's say a business isn't following the guidelines, customers aren't wearing masks, so on and so forth. Whatever reports or whatever issues come in based on the COVID, they are going to have a separate task force, from what I understand. And that task force is going to be establishing the rules and regulations that will be separate for that county, in addition to the Pennsylvania Health Department guidelines that are going to be set out by Dr. Levine. Now, what we need to understand is we probably will not move to yellow phase at least till the end of this month, May. So we can take that one of two ways, okay? And we can take it as it's very upsetting that we can't open our business for another month. It's very upsetting for the simple fact that we are going to be behind these other counties, and it's just so much harder, and it's a whole nother 30 days that we've got to kick everything back and hold everything and use our savings and use everything, the last pennies we have. But what I can tell you is this. Larger counties with larger counts, for instance, Georgia, all the states that are going back to work, that technically, in my honest opinion, weren't necessarily ready. It's not that the people weren't ready, it's that the county itself, the government itself wouldn't have been ready, in a sense that they need to establish guidelines. They need to establish protocols. These protocols have to be in place before the larger populous areas are allowed to reopen and retain these crowds again. So they really do need to develop a strategy or a game plan. And I'm going to go over a smaller level of that. And I'm also going to go over a wonderful program that's been implemented that is really taking off, and in about 2 weeks they're going to go live, and it's something that all business owners and all employees and individuals as well really should take a look at, because it's something that's going to give you comfort in both the customer level and a business level. So we need to establish these centralized guidelines, and this month is really going to give N.E.P.A a chance to shine. So that's why in the beginning of this video I said we really need to share it, because here is the golden ticket. If we can establish a group of protocols or a set in place guideline list and implement this list as individual business owners. So I want in the comments, I want your suggestions, I want your ideas, and I want to formulate and establish a protocol or a set of agreed guidelines that we can all follow. And these could be as simple as, wear a mask, cover this, one person per employee, so on and so forth. But these guidelines are all things that really do need to go into place. We're going to go over some basic stuff right now. So as a customer, in order for you to be ready to go to these stores, you have to be able to, number one, protect yourself, and number two, understand the position of the business owner and what his job is now to protect you as well. Not only for you to be vigilant and ensure that you're getting a safe, secure environment, but at the same time so that you're able to maintain that for him as well, him or her as well. So, entering a store, first you need to take everything into account. Stand back, take a look around the store. Is the store overpopulated? In a sense that, will you be comfortable? Can you practice social distancing in the yellow phase at a safe distance? Can you ensure that the products within that store are either A, displayed without being able to be touched, or if they are being able to be touched, are they things that you're not going to be directly eating or utilizing on a day-to-day basis that can't be easily cleaned? For the next few months at least, we have to be careful which products we're bringing into our homes. We have to establish a system at the door in order to make sure that these germs don't enter our homes. Shoes are one of the biggest things that I see most people making a mistake. You cannot leave your shoes on right now. Somebody sneezes on the ground, it's on the shoe, it's on your sock, you take your sock, you rub your foot, it's all there. So you really have to understand, leave things at the door. Take your coat off, leave it at the door. Take your shoes off, leave it at the door. Make sure that you're maintaining a clean environment between outside and inside. Products that you're purchasing at the store that come in an outside box and an interior bag, take them out of the box. Throw the box away. Have a cardboard section at your door to which you're always using gloves, and dispose of that. It may seem like a lot, and it may seem like you're overdoing it, but these are all the steps that we should be taking for the simple fact that will slow the spread of the virus, and we can be done with this. Even if you're not afraid of catching the virus, we have to be afraid of spreading it, to the fact that as long as this virus continues to spread and these numbers climb again, we will not be able to reopen. So that's why I'm getting to you. It's so important to use these next 20 days to establish a system and a set of proper guidelines to establish safety and comfort among both customer and business owner. Another thing that's driving me absolutely bananas is no one seems to understand how to dispose of their items properly. If you have a mask, you don't put it on the ground. It's not where it belongs. That's not a garbage can. These are simple, common things that we need to do to stop the spread of virus. If you have that virus and you have that there, some poor store worker has to bend over, touch that, then they have to touch your cart, they touch someone else's cart, and that's how this vicious cycle continues. You need to dispose of your PPE properly. Put it in your pocket. Throw it away when you get home, and then sanitize and wash your clothes. Do whatever you, plus it was on your face anyway. You have to dispose of your own PPE properly. We need to take responsibilities and do things according to the way they'll work for everyone. We cannot be selfish. This is not a time for America to be selfish. This is a time for us to stand up and address the issues at hand. Make sure that, like I said, you're disposing of your boxes, you're disposing of garbage that doesn't need to be in the house. Anything that was outside and that you're bringing into your home, those are things that you really shouldn't be addressing at this point. Now, the other thing that you need to realize is when you're going into a store, is the store up to par? Are the products at a safe distance where, unless you really need to touch them, no one else has touched them? Are these products that are able to be cleaned and maintained so that when you're bringing them into your home, you are bringing them into a safe environment and you're maintaining that safe, clean home environment? Because where you should be home is not where you should have trouble. What I was getting at before is a centralized training system is going to be essential before most businesses can open. There is a fantastic program out, COVIDsafe.us. COVIDsafe.us is going to be rolled out and ready to roll in 2 weeks. It's already been trademarked. It's a fantastic training program for both an independent and a business owner. So the business owner, the manager, can take a course and then utilize that training to train his other staff, and then that staff can therefore then take the test, and you'll have all of these proper certifications so that you understand the virus, you understand the mitigation efforts, and you understand which PPE does what. You understand all of the proper factual CDC, Department of Health, World Health Organization, all of the information that is essential, not the misguided, misinterpreted, overblown media version. Wrong. We need something exactly like COVIDsafe.us. So I highly recommend everyone take a peek at that. If you own a business, you have any kind of interest in a business, or you're an employee and you want to say to your boss, hey, in order for us to give that image to our customers, because right now that's what we need. And I'm not saying just give the image. I'm saying get the knowledge. Get the understanding, because if you have the knowledge, you have the understanding, you can prevent the disease from entering your store, and you can keep your employees safe, you can keep your customers safe. And that's the whole point of this video, is that we need to understand that there is a new set of guidelines that need to be in place. And no, it's not to take away freedoms. It's to give us our freedoms back. That's the whole point of this. To wear a mask is simply to get our freedoms back, to be able to go to a baseball game, to be able to go here, to be able to go there. We have to stop the virus. That's essential. Now, the governor has split it down, like I had mentioned before. Bradford, Columbia, Montour, they've all moved to yellow phase. Now, what yellow phase means is simply this. Telework, obviously, if you can still do it, do it. Social distance at all times, if it's possible. There is restrictive childcare, meaning childcare is back in play. However, there are heavy guidelines that must be followed. Certain numbers and limits to the amount of people per guardian, for the simple fact that you need to monitor these students to ensure social distancing between families, so on and so forth. In-person businesses are allowed to resume, which is fantastic news for all business owners in the state. As of tomorrow, like I said, Bradford, Columbia, Montour, these businesses can open. However, they are highly suggested to utilize curbside, if at all, and at all times possible. So now you have, for obviously Bradford, Columbia, Montour, they've got to kind of jump into this. But over the next 20, 25 days, if you own a business, start establishing these things now. They have to be in place. So start doing them now. Start getting these things in place. Start having a curbside pickup set up. If you don't have parking, you don't have pull-up driving, set something up where maybe for an hour or two afterwards, you have a separate location, your front porch, somewhere that you can establish this, where you can continue to operate and you can continue to make money, because they're going to give us the opportunity. But if we blow the opportunity by doing things incorrectly and we start to have a climb, we're only going right back to where we started, and it's only going to be worse, and we won't be coming back anytime soon. We're being given a golden opportunity, and that's why it's so important to watch videos like this, to understand where we are and to understand what we need to do as people. We can't wait for the government to give us every directive. We've got to step up to the plate and say, okay, I know what I need to do as a business owner. I know what I need to do to move forward. In yellow phase, there is no prison and no nursing home visitation. There, as you can tell, it has been running rampant in these enclosed areas where people are coming in and out, but the rest are stuck and can't move. If one person brings it into that home, almost guaranteed that everyone with underlying conditions is going to go through a very difficult time. So they are still restricting that, and I really believe with good cause. I'm not sure if they're going to alleviate some of it to where you can have slight visitation, but from what I understand, there is no one to enter those buildings at any point outside of staff or residents. No person-to-person education will be continued. So that means, at least for the immediate future, until we go to green phase, school is a no-no. So you will be continuing your online education to the end of the year, as they already stated, and then come fall, they will be reevaluating the situation. Keep in mind, we're probably not going to be able to go to the next phase, the green phase, until everybody gets into yellow phase. Because if one county gets to green phase, everybody's going to be flocking to that county, and it's just going to get to mayhem. And the people that were infected and whatnot from this county, or the people that were already sick that have caught it again but don't realize it, so on and so forth, it's just going to cause mayhem. So we all need to get to a single color, and then we can move to the next, as far as what I understand and as far as what makes sense to the general consensus of the state. So, you know, the stay-at-home order would be lifted in yellow phase. You can leave your house in yellow phase, which is fantastic. We can go back out, but you still must wear a mask. A mask is still a required guideline in the state of Pennsylvania, and especially here in northeastern Pennsylvania, because like I said, we have to take these steps. We have to take the initiative. Don't look at it like they're taking away our freedoms. Look at it as we have to take little steps to regain the freedoms that we so strongly deserve, like being able to operate a business, like being able to go out and do things that matter to us, other than sitting on our couch and watching TV. I can't even tell you how bad the obesity rate has probably grown in this country. I can't even tell you the suicide rate. I can't even tell you the mental health problems that are going to derive from this. We need to get back out for more reasons than one. I guarantee you, the longer we stay in, the more we're going to see these numbers crawl higher than any coronavirus will ever have affected. In yellow phase, we can still not have any more than groups of 25, but you can still have events up to 25 people. So we can still have those weddings. We can still have certain things, just limited. So you're going to limit your wedding for a few months. And then you can still have the balance of the guests that you were going to invite. Do a Zoom wedding. So many DJs are offering Zoom weddings. There's so many ways to go around this and still maintain our life. As I mentioned previously, we don't need to social distance. We need to physical distance. Social distancing should never happen. We need to be social. There are so many fantastic digital ways to become social in this era that we don't need to social distance. We just need to physical distance. So keep that in mind without confusing people. Here's the one that's going to hurt the majority of Pennsylvania, for the simple fact that it is just such a big thing in this state. Dine-in restaurants. Dine-in restaurants are still not allowed in yellow phase. What that means is dine-in restaurants probably will not resume until around the time schools resume back in green phase, which will probably be August, September, October, sadly. As unfortunate as it sounds, I really feel it's going to take us that long for the government to develop these mitigation plans, for the government to develop the protocols in place in order for us to move to that green phase. So no dine-in restaurants, no gyms, no health and wellness spas, no casinos, no theaters, no entertainment of any kind outside of groups of 25 or under. So that's the yellow phase. As not fun as it sounds, as close to red phase as many of us may think it is, it's still a big step, and that big step is going to give us a real good picture of where we stand, a very good picture of how many of us are going to be capable of practicing social distancing to a fact that we'll be able to move forward with this and include other counties and start to build on the color system. Because right now, the phases are red, yellow, green. And we have 24 counties in our state that have moved to yellow phase, which is wonderful. We're getting reopened. That's all we can ask. But now, over the next 20, 25 days, we need to build on that concept and establish to make sure businesses are ready to reopen, have no touching policies in place, make sure that the training is in place, covidsafe.us, make sure there are different things and protocols in place from both business and customer level. Make sure you're both maintaining that status quo to enable the government to see that we are responsible citizens. And Northeastern Pennsylvania is a wonderful place. We are smart enough to handle this on our own, and we can reopen America. And like I said, I don't personally think we're ready to do this right now. I don't think we're ready to jump to green phase at any point within the next 2, 3, 4 months. But we are ready to do it at a gradual phase. And I think that once we get to yellow, I believe it should really be up to the county to slowly earn your way into the green phase. You need to earn it. All businesses need to be implementing a strategy or place in play, and they need to be inspected before a deadline date. And if they fail that, they don't open on that date, and they have to reapply to have it re-evaluated. These are the things that need to happen. And it does seem like it's infringing or encroaching, and it does seem like it's taking away a lot of freedom, but all it's doing is enabling you to have your freedom to ensure that you are capable to handle this new situation. Because this situation is life and death. There's no other way to look at it. I hope you guys learned something from this video. I hope you understand where we are, why we are where we're at, what the health regions now mean, who's included, and why we may not see things go as rapidly as we may have hoped or have anticipated. We got to stick to this together, but I really think over the next month we can prove to our governor that we're capable and ready to move to yellow phase. Make sure we're implementing plans, make sure businesses are implementing strategies, make sure training is in place, and make sure it's completed and concluded properly. If we are prepared, nothing can stop us. We are N.E.P.A. I'm going to close with us taking another look at the phases. I'm going to bring them up on the screen so you guys can take a big check and understand just exactly where we stand and what to expect over the next few. My name is Corey Camasso. I really appreciate you watching N.E.P.A. Investigates. Please like, please subscribe so that we're able to continue to grow with you. We are trying to bring you an unbiased, new alternative to the news media. We find that so many people just don't trust it anymore. And we want to be that trusted source. We want to be the place where you can go to get the valid information that will help you understand and establish a good life. Thank you for watching. My name is Corey Camasso. This is N.E.P.A. Investigates. Stay safe, America.